Today on Rich Waiter, we are going to elevate your beauty with multi-use products from Seint Makeup, everything that's in my palette. So let's get started. I'm going to show you exactly what they do and the multiple things they also do. So I am going to start with my face, and first let's put our hair back so you can see what I'm doing. So let's get started. This is my number 8 palette, and I like the 8 palette because I can put pretty much everything that I want on the top layer right here. So I've got my highlight colors, which are considered, concealer, color corrector, sort of your main shades. I've got a contour, an illuminator, a bronzer right here, and then 3 lip and cheeks. And then on the bottom layer, I've got a bunch of eyeshadows and a brush cleaner. So for today's purposes, I just want to show you how easy it is to use just the top layer of your palette, all the creams, and how they can do multiple things and create a very easy, natural, minimal makeup that takes less than 7 minutes, and you're using everything more than once. Are you ready? Let's go do this. For today's purposes, I'm going to go in with this smudge brush. It's a 2-sided brush. And to just show you, it's got a sort of a domed, soft bristle on this end, and then the other side, it's a little flatter, as you can see here, whereas this is more fluffy and round. So you can use either end, but I love it when I want to do my makeup without my fingers, and so I thought for today's purposes, it would be kind of fun to show you a different brush and how I like to use it. So the first color I'm going to go into is my Brightner, and this is meant to add lightness to the center of your face and down here. And the purposes of this color is meant to add brightness to the middle of your face right in here. And once I blend it in, you'll see how that works. Then I'm going to take the same brush, I'm going to tap it into the Brightner, and then my second color, which is my color corrector. And I'm just going to put that on my eyelids like this so that it minimizes the redness and is almost like a primer. So that is the second thing these products can do. They can conceal and they can color correct and act as a primer. So those are 3 things. And then I'm going to go in again into this color corrector, and I'm going to put it on the places on my face where I have a redness, and I have a little scar right here I want to minimize. And I'm just going to dab it where I need it. And it should go really fast. Once you get used to it, you just dab in and take very little product with your brush and tap it in like this. See, I have a little spot right there that I want to minimize right there. Okay, and then I have a little redness here, and did I get under my nose? Okay, there. And then the third color I'm going to go into is my main shade, and that's just going to go along my jawline and even out my skin tone here. You can also put a little bit on your forehead if you want, and then if you didn't have a color corrector in here, you could put it in these areas of your face. But I don't need it there because I'm going to blend it in like that. So these first 3 colors, like I was saying, can brighten, they can color correct, they can prime, and they can also act as your main foundation color. So that is the multi-purpose uses for those 3 colors right there. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my little brush over, see how it's makeup on one side, and I'm going to go over into here into my contour, and I'm going to lightly dab into my contour, pick up enough on there, and I'm just going to dot it along my forehead where I want to contour. Now sometimes you may have to dip in a little harder because the contour is a sort of a stiffer product. And a little bit along here and here. And this is going to add dimension to your face, and you can go darker if you want. I need to pick up a little bit more like this. Okay, and then I like a little bit down my nose like this for a shadow. And you can add a little bit here, and then a little bit under your chin and along your jawline like this. And that's it for my contour. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my bronzer. I'm just going to pick up a little bronzer. Now the bronzer is softer consistency, and I'm just going to add it sort of where oh, that did not pick up. I'm going to go into my bronzer and add, add a little bit sort of for warmth around where I'd want the sun to sort of hit. Like that. So as you can see, I've got the contour up here, I've got a little bronzer, I've got my main color Brightner here, my color corrector in here, brightness, and then my main shade here. Now, I have not doubled up any of the colors except for a little bit on my eyelids with the Brightner and the Mango. So now that I've applied all my placement of everything, so I'm going to go in with the bronzer brush. I love this brush because it's got this really nice, fluffy, flat head, and the bristles are great for creating a soft, even complexion. I like to go, for some reason, along my jawline first. You don't have to do that. I do my eyes last because I want the makeup to warm to my skin. And do you see how easy that blended? It just evenly, just be careful right here because we have a little wrinkle. I couldn't think for a minute. So a little wrinkle right there. So just make sure that you blend it in there because this is meant to be a second skin. This is supposed to blend really evenly into your skin. And I'm gonna do the contour and the bronzer last. So I'm using lighter to darker. And now I'm gonna just go down my nose a little bit like this. And as you can see, it's warmed my skin and it's very easy to blend. And I'm just gonna do my eyes like this. And I'll show you a trick in a minute. You can just make sure you are just pushing it into your skin and you're not pulling or pushing or rubbing or anything like that. And then as you can see, it's totally evened out my skin tone and it was really, really easy. Next, I'm just gonna go into my contour like this, blend it up into my bronzer. The bronzer's there to give me some light, and you just wanna double check that you're blending it nicely. And as you can see, I'm just kind of pushing it in to my forehead. You can do a little bit more like a movement like this, side to side on your forehead where the skin is a little thicker, but you want to be really, really careful, especially around your eyes, because this is really thin skin, and you don't want to pull or move that skin too much. And that's why I did the makeup first around my eyes so that it can warm to my skin and it'll be easier to blend. And then lastly, we're just gonna do a little bit of this. And I can go in and add more if I don't feel like it's enough, but this will give a nice warmth to my skin. And I'm gonna bring the bronzer a little bit onto my cheeks. You see how that gave that like really pretty glow on my cheeks? Maybe I didn't put enough over here, but you can always go back and add more. And that's the cool thing about cream. There's no rules. And I'm gonna put a little leftover on here. So if you're worried about any of the makeup still left in here, you can take the other end of this brush, this is the detail brush, and just go in and make sure that you move it out. So that is just really an easy way to get your makeup on and started, but I want to get back to why and how these products are multitasking. So we did the 3 highlight colors, which can conceal, brighten, prime your face. The contour is awesome because it can be a contour, which is shadow. You can use this to fill in your brows. You can use it as an eyeshadow. You can use it as a lip liner. And I think that's it for that one. And then as far as the bronzer, same thing. You could do, it could be a blush. It could be, obviously a glow. It could be an eyeshadow. It could be a lip liner, and you could use it for an eyeshadow. So those are really great things. So what I wanted to do is go in next into my lip and cheek. So this is Frenchie. I love Frenchie for the fact that it is also has multi-uses because it can be a lip, it can be cheek, and it can be an eyeshadow. So I think it's really interesting because you never really think about an eyeshadow from a lip and cheek, right? So what I want to do is I'm going to show you with the smudge brush, and I'm going to go in lightly into the Frenchie lip and cheek, and I'm going to put that lightly. I'm going to put the Frenchie on my eyelid as an eyeshadow like this. And I'm just going to cover my eyelid with it. And you're going to see how pretty this is because it's going to pull all together in a minute. And you can use your finger as well if you prefer, but because I have my smudge brush right here, I thought I would do that. Okay, and then I can put a little bit on here as my blush. On my lips. Like that, and then blend in And this is a really natural, pretty color. So as you can see on my eyelids, it has a very pretty pinky glow and really natural because it's sort of like a corally neutral pink. So that's the Frenchie. So that's a lip and cheek on your eyeshadow, as an eyeshadow and as a blush, and I put it on my lips. So then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with my finger into the contour like this, and you can use the brush as well, but I wanna show you can also do it with your fingers, and you can add it to the corner of your eye like this. So this is using the contour as an eyeshadow. And I love this because if you're on the go and you don't have a ton of brushes and you just want to get it on your face, I do this when I'm in the car. Obviously my hands have to be clean, but if I'm traveling and I'm in a rush, I can just pop my finger into it and there it is as contour, as a little bit of eyeshadow. Now another thing you can do is take a smaller brush, which would be, I mean, maybe even just take the smudge brush and go into the contour like this. Just add a little bit like this as an eyeliner. And you can go in darker like this if you like as well. Just make sure you blend it out. And if you have hooded eyes, make sure to put the color up on the brow bone like that, so it'll open up your eye. And then do it on this side as well. So again, you can use your finger, you can use a brush, you can use it as an eyeliner, an eyeshadow, and that's a great thing. The other thing I love using the contour for is get your spoolie brush, which has a really nice angled end right there, and you can fill in your eyebrows. So take your spoolie brush, the other end, pop your little angled brush into the contour, and then you can just lightly feather brush strokes into your eyebrows to fill them in. Now just make sure that when you are doing this, that your contour is the right color for your eyebrows. We have different colored contours and you could use an eyeshadow as well, but this video is about using these cream colors for different purposes. So yeah, just fill it in and then you can flip it over and use the spoolie to just blend it in like that. So that's that. And then the other thing that I love is this Illuminator. The Illuminator is great for adding a nice glow on your cheekbones like that. You can put it on your brow bone. And I like to use it as an eyeshadow right here. See how that makes a pretty glow on your eye? So that is a great purpose for the Illuminator. So I'm just gonna make it even and we're almost done. We're gonna add a little, don't forget to add some on your nose, the Illuminator, down your cupid's bow, and then you can add that as a little sheen to your lips. So isn't that pretty? I just love it. I love the versatility of these products and how you can get so many uses out of them that you don't need anything more than that. So I used 7 items and I used these 6 and then the Frenchie. Now I also have nude, which I love on my eyes as well. And then I have a lip gloss. But honestly, you could get away with just 7 items and use that for your whole face. The bronzer is great as well, which I didn't do and I'm gonna do here with you, is you could take the bronzer or the contour as a lip liner. So I'm gonna take the multitasker brush. It has a really small little head right there. And I'm just gonna dab into my contour and I'm gonna line my lips. And you can do this before or after, it doesn't really matter. And see how that adds a little depth to add a little bit more lip and cheek. And it adds a little bit of dimension to your lips. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more Illuminator. Isn't that kind of cool? And then if you wanna make it a little darker, you can add a little bronzer. So many options. I love it. There's so many great options. so many times I don't even go to my eyeshadows because I have everything on the top layer, and I'm usually in a hurry, and I like to have really minimal, simple makeup. So if that's you, be sure to hit the subscribe and follow button up here so that you can be notified when I put up a new video. So this is everything that I'm using in my palette day to day, and it makes my life so much easier when I'm getting ready, running out the door, and I just want to look like myself, but better. So if you're interested in the makeup, please let me know. I will put information below about how to get a color match and how to get this fabulous multi-use products.